G'day, I'm Evan and welcome to Gamey. Joining me on the show this week, it's Martin Dunlop.
Hello. Hello, that one. Yeah.
Hi, Martin. Why are you talking to them? We're right here, buddy. I'm Matt. Nice to meet you. He'll tell you that in a sec, though.
Kate Dehnert. It's a brutal show.
I don't want to do this show anymore.
No one really clapped Martin either.
I thought you were just saying no one really cares about you, Gabe.
I mean, both true.
And Matt Stewart.
You've made some powerful enemies today, Matt.
I was the other one that clapped you, and then where'd you go? Thank you. That's all I was asking for.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I can
That
feel
means a lot.
quite confident in the fact that I'm not as nice a person as you, Matt.
I know.
Just because you're a very high bar, so why try?
Not a nicer person?
I'm not a nicer person.
Hey, no, I'm playing a
you're
mean
not-
guy, Rob.
I'm not as nice a person.
You're saying that this guy's nice.
Yeah.
No, I'm the bad boy of the panel. Can you let me have it this one time?
Nature abhors a
dog.
vacuum,
You're not.
and Matt's dropped into the alpha spot.
You're
Yeah.
the little. It's not alpha. You're the little bitch today.
Hey, Melbourne International Games Week is on right now. Right now.
What? What are we doing here?
Well, it's not right. It's on Monday when this comes out.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean to be paranoid, Kate, but there's something floating in this beer.
No, wait. Let me see.
That doesn't feel like a paranoid thing.
Isn't that usually? Yeah, there's always a bit of tan.
But that's not paranoid when like you see
At
something.
what level is it tannins, and at what point is it just straight up rust?
It wouldn't-
Like,
I was like, when I was drinking earlier, I said, tastes kind of like Vegemite, which I know Vegemite's made from beer, so I thought maybe that's normal, but
paranoia is not saying something in your drink. Paranoia would be thinking that the crumb in your beer is saying mean things behind your back.
is there?
Did you say tannins?
It's
Yeah.
not tannins, it's like,
What is tannins?
Tannins are like a clause on a bird.
I think it's
see it?
sediment.
No.
Can you see?
I think it's sediment. It's like why you have to roll the Coopers.
What beer is this?
Well, the beer. I don't know if it's
I
the
think
beer
it's
so much as how long it's been left in the fridge.
Two
'cause
birds.
Oh.
It's usually very.
That's
good.
where the talons come from.
It says established 2011, which I think
birds.
was when we bought this.
Yeah,
That's a long time
the
ago.
lids were rusted on.
This, I'll leave that with you. Melbourne International Games Week is
I would
on...
like a two-bird sponsorship. I still like your
In
product.
the middle of in the middle of all of this, I stopped and also took a sip. Because I thought,
You've got a problem.
yeah, I can't
Martin.
figure this out until I've drunk more, so I'm just gonna.
Just go to gamesweek.melbourne. I'll put the link up. And if you're in town, there's lots of events that are on and you can go along. There's good things. Like Parallels, the free play Parallels event, which I was talking about last week, and then Ben made fun of me because I didn't turn that into a story.
You're gonna do it
I'm
tonight?
going to slowly
No.
die of Tamaine poisoning like an Arctic
Tamaine?
exhibition.
Maine.
Tamaine, it's when like cans aren't properly sealed and so the metal leaches into the food. There was an expedition to the Arctic where everyone went crazy with it and they all ate each other.
Well, that's what 100% what we're drinking now, though, right?
Yeah.
Why are you drinking? There's so many other beers out there.
I would lick a rusty tractor, and I think I'd be fine. That was our argument for being like, these will be fine.
Tractor?
Yeah.
This,
Saw.
this,
You'd like a
Kettle.
rusty saw.
this week, we're going to take a look.
You deserve talon disease or whatever it was.
Tamaine
I'm looking at my
poisoning.
gut health.
It's a good health.
Good health.
This week, we're going to take a look at What the Golf and the Surge 2. But first, what do you think of this? 19-year-old Ryan Edgar in Pennsylvania got Doom running on McDonald's cash register.
Like at work?
No. He,
At play.
at home.
play?
At home.
At home, yes.
Did he steal the register?
No, I think the local McDonald's was offloading these registers. They're old. They weren't using them anymore, whatever. And
The McDonald's people were old.
No, the registers were old.
I'm looking at this picture, though,
You are.
and thank you for confirming that. But it's just, there's a computer. This
Yeah,
register
this
is a
isn't a
computer.
story.
It is a computer.
It's not like
That's
if you,
not a-
if
that's
you
not a
had
story worth
Doom,
All right.
exactly.
Talking about. Yeah.
Doom running on one of these ones. Bing!
Doom is one of these
That's
games.
On a
story.
typewriter.
Yeah, if you had Doom where you were
number
sitting in a
typewriters.
window and you had a headset on and you were like, what would you like to Doom today? as a car drove past, then you got a story. But this is just a computer.
You can get a copy of this. The biggest one I know, you can get Doom running on a TI-83 graphing calculator. And it
that's
sucks.
sick.
It's unplayable, but it does run.
People have got Doom working on iPods, the Microsoft Zune, an ATM, a Canon Pixma inkjet printer.
ATM, that feels like a story.
Yeah.
Why is that a
A
footnote?
thermostat, an ultrasound machine.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty good.
Is it a boy or a girl? No, it's a Doom. I wish I knew a Doom reference. I would have said the character's name there if I knew
The
it.
Doom Slayer.
Cacodemon.
Is that
It's a cacodemon.
Are they the ones that?
They're the big heads.
right.
The small heads that fly at you. That's a lost soul, I think.
What's your favourite way to reveal a gender of a baby?
Cacodemon.
Shoot it.
Bless you.
Blood.
If you shot somebody and the blood came out and the blood was blue, and that was the reveal.
The thing about those gender reveals are always like, oh, it's a girl, and then it's always like, yeah, it's a fucking boy. Like it's always.
People more excited for boys? Is that what
Yeah, I
you
think they're just really, really.
What have you
What?
got against boys?
It's a boy.
It's a blue pen.
I will say, I've done, like you said, it's a Windows XP machine. This is not that impressive. When I was in high school, I wrote pornographic fan fiction on a TI-83 graphing calculator.
Boobies.
That was
upside down.
shared around the school.
Boobies upside down, really? Pornographic fan fiction?
Yes.
That's a short story.
Yeah, the top half is like a slow dot by dot painting of
That's hot.
of Sailor Moon. Then yes,
Wait. So wait, you wrote? Did you draw? Was it like?
I wrote pornographic fanfic. Well, erotic because I didn't know what the bits looked like because I'd never seen them.
Can you type words on one of those?
Yeah, it takes forever.
Right.
Because each button is like that. Is like, you know, when you have to write a word using your phone. So it's like to get like a C, you have to be like 1, 1, 1.
Do you still have this calculator, and can I borrow it?
I think it probably is still somewhere at my parents' house. Yes.
Yeah.
Those batteries last forever as well.
That's hot. That's so hot. Can we find? Let's track that down.
There would be a lot of pornographic fan fiction written on McDonald's cash register.
About Ronald McDonald and Grimace.
Yes.
You know what? I'm actually like, I'm okay to hear sex stories about Grimace. I'm okay to hear about Birdie and Hamburglar, but oh my
What
god.
about Mayor McCheese?
Imagine him separated. Anyway. No.
He's the burger head, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there should have been more of that guy. But Ronald, no one wants Ronald
With the
even being
ham-
nice to them.
Would the hamburger have stolen his head?
Oh, I saw Mayor McCheese's head.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But the
Would he have
Hamburglar,
eaten Mayor McCheese's head? And is that erotic? Yes, to some people.
Yeah, we're not here to kink shame.
We're here to explain vor. Now,
I don't like vor. We've talked about it before on the show. I don't like it.
I don't know what it is.
the people are crying out for more vor.
This is a kink. It's like Kirby. It's where you. It's a kink
Yeah.
based around consuming
Them whole.
something whole without chewing, right? Like
So it's still alive inside.
yeah.
That's a
The
Kirby kink.
P-H-O-L-E, not the H-O-L-E hole.
Can you consume a hole?
Like a butthole? I think that's already been done. I don't know if that's much of a kink.
I think you can attend to it.
Attend to a hole. Yeah.
Oh man.
There's an edit point somewhere in there, I think.
Oh maybe.
Beginning of the show. Hi, wet, and then that's it.
Yeah. I don't know. I reckon there's a few people watching out there whose genitals are engorged.
See, that's, yes.
And
But
it's-
that isn't that. You're talking about a whole person in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so in that way, you eating both the whole, H-O-L-E, and the whole.
It's an impossible
W.
kink. You'd never get satisfaction from that.
Kirby, hope you're listening. Need to make some changes, buddy.
Should we? Maybe we'll move on from.
He's got a hunger that he's never going to satisfy. Sexual hunger. And regular hunger.
We maybe we'll move on from the McDonald's cash register that plays Doom.
Yeah, because I think we all agreed that it wasn't a story worth talking about.
All right. What the Golf is an indie golf game that really pushes the boundary of what you can call golf. You'll see what I mean when you take a look at the trailer. So that was a look at the trailer for What the Golf. What? What has happened?
You, Evan. You just haven't.
This is what is that?
Present, Evan, for the love of God, present.
You've lost control of your show, Evan.
This is a. I thought this was a really cool game. It's an indie.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's a golf game. It starts off as a golf game, kind of.
I loved it early when it was a golf game.
Yeah, I mean you're into golf. You really wanted this just to be a golf game.
I wanted it to be golf. I felt, well, no, the problem was the first hole, I think, it was golf.
Yes.
And you just had to hit a golf ball. And then the second one, the golf club became the ball, and they made a fool of me.
Yeah.
And it took me quite a few holes to get over that embarrassment and allow myself to enjoy the game once again. Because I felt like an idiot. I'm like, oh, this is fun, a bit of golf game. And then, yeah, they made the stick was the ball, then I was the ball. They made a real deal out of me, and I didn't feel good about it.
You can see in the trailer the bits where like a car is the golf ball and you have to like drive it and it keeps falling off cliffs. And I was enjoying that a lot more by imagining there was a whole family in that car. I mean, only the dad's driving, but he's very, very cross and sad.
I thought this was really cool. I was impressed with how creative they got with this game. Every single little mini game, whatever, was different in some way. That it was always messing around with what was the ball, or how the physics were, or kind of what the goal was. And it was cool. It just kept surprising me, and I thought it was
Felt a bit like a Rick and Morty thing or something.
I think I saw a reference to Rick and Morty in there. But there are references to a lot of things. Like there's
Mario
There's
stuff.
a Mario
Yeah,
level,
there's Mario stuff.
There's a Guitar Hero level. And
Yeah, there's references to Portal, Donkey Kong.
What?
Super
Donkey
Hot.
Kong? Where?
In one of the things I played, it was like the barrels coming down on the things like a Donkey Kong.
Oh, a barrel.
it does a lot of that thing. Do you remember that game it was called something like This Game Is Only One Screen? And it would start out with an elephant. And every level was the same platform level. But every time you'd like push the button to move the elephant, something weird would happen, like gravity wouldn't work. Or like you'd have to move the background instead of the character and things like that.
cool.
And it's like, because tons of the levels in this, you start out and you're like, okay, this one's a normal golf level. Then you slightly move the mouse and then like a huge grandmother like pops up behind the set and starts roaring at you, and you must placate her by promising you're going to live your life better, and that's how you win the level.
I see.
Did you make this game, Martin?
I wish I had. It's got the aesthetic of that, like the Goose Game and everything that
Yeah.
these games do.
It's very, very sort of cute and fun.
The hardest one I found was that dead horse on the train.
That was horrific to watch because the horse makes a noise every
It was
time.
real floppy.
Yeah.
Just clinging to life.
Yeah.
It didn't want to be there.
No, all its bones were broken.
Yeah.
Some of it because it starts off pretty easy, like and pretty straightforward. But some of them do get quite difficult. Some of the soccer stuff because it turns into a soccer game at one
Yeah, I
point.
was sort of referencing FIFA,
Yeah, right.
which is quite a successful video game.
Yeah, FIFA 20's just come out. If anyone's interested.
I'm interested in FIFA 20.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I'll take one copy.
I don't have any.
Oh,
What's that?
I don't have any copies of FIFA.
Then why advertise?
I didn't advertise.
this shop sucks.
There's a
I'll
it's
be
a
taking
public
my
service
business
and
elsewhere. Good day.
there's the guitar.
I dreamed of FIFA 20 on the 14th of sorry.
14th of sorry.
There's
Saddest day of the year.
I was just really impressed with how creative it was, and the first time I played it for a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I felt like I must have exhausted all their ideas, but I was only like 6% through the game. I'm like, oh, there's so much to this.
I had the same thing after the first time I played it. I'm like, all right, well, no one's ever going to play this for more than 5 minutes, and I've played it for an hour.
Yeah.
So I made a fool out of me.
Again.
Yeah, yet again. Do that most days, actually.
It's quite like I asked when we were looking at it before, like how long is it since there's been a serious golf game?
Yeah.
And there's some sort of like the golf club sort of procedurally generated thing on Steam, but there's not like it's been a long time since there's been a PGA links kind of thing. So
Like a FIFA for golf.
yeah, the lonely dads who have no access to a golf course. This
Or their
is your
kids.
offering. This is the offering. They sit at home now and try to imagine this is a real golf game.
I could see my kids. They'd be so proud of Daddy now.
Well, yeah, what? That sells Microsoft Golf, Mario Golf.
The golf
There used to be
game,
lots
which
of
was the
golf
RPG one, that it
What
was
was
a big
it?
hit on the Switch. It's called like the golf game.
All right.
It's like a big RPG one where you like fight battles by playing
yes,
golf.
I've heard of that.
It seems like golf is inspiring people to do lots of things, and none of them are to actually make a game about golf because that's too boring.
We had at home. We used to have like a golf a putting practice thing, which was like you'd put the golf ball into this box and it would spit it out again, and then you'd.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good, except we broke the window with it at the house.
Yeah, you started shooting. You started picking it up, shooting balls.
No, we didn't do that.
Oh, neither.
Wait, how did you break a window with something that's on the ground and only shoots it out like poof?
I think we were putting towards a glass window.
Oh.
And we must have missed
So
it.
it sounds like, don't blame the device for you putting a ball into a window.
Yeah,
Either that
the device
or
didn't touch
no.
the ball at any point.
That's not, you can't blame technology for that. You're such a Luddite,
Did you
Evan.
blame it on the putter and then your parents were like, well, sorry, kids, that's it. And you're like, ah.
Yeah,
Putters don't break windows, people break windows.
I don't remember using that part.
Yeah,
of it
no.
again.
So yeah, my parents they got rid of it because it made us break a window. We broke the window with a brick.
We threw the device through the window.
Matt, you've actually played.
I played golf yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh,
I play I normally play once a year, but this year I've played twice.
It's
Oh.
so popular in Australia. It's like the second most popular sport.
Well, I reckon that's why games aren't big, because anyone could every neighbourhood has a golf course, basically. You can play for $20 or something. So I reckon that's probably why golf games aren't really required. Whereas FIFA, it's very hard to start a professional football team.
Right.
You know, you need like, what,
20
of
20.
mates who
Yeah,
are also
FIFA 20
professional
But
footballers.
FIFA 20 has street soccer now.
Okay, well, that's a little easier.
Yeah.
That seems unnecessary.
Yeah, it's like FIFA Street, but not.
FIFA Street, yeah, they're keeping it real.
Is this obviously a bit different to regular golf?
This is quite different, yeah. Very rarely do you have to knock over a cat on the course.
Yeah, it happens a lot in this one that you have to knock
Yeah.
over cats.
I think
Oh,
it's
that bit's like super hot.
Yeah, super hot.
Clever.
Yeah. It's got a bit
Super
of a sense
hot.
of humour, this game.
super hot.
Super hot. It's a game, a very creative first-person shooter. A really,
the red guys.
Yeah, with the red guy.
Yeah, I know games. That's why I'm here.
Too. That's
Yeah.
why we're on this
That's
podcast.
why we're on this podcast.
That's why I understood
It's not
the
a
pun.
It's a
And I'm
vodcast.
still understanding the
It's a
pun.
podcast. It's not.
It's a fodcast?
Yeah, a
No, it's a
fun
show. It's a
podcast.
show.
A filmed fun
This
podcast. A
or
podcast.
super hot?
Hang
is a
on.
podcast.
No, Super Hot's a video game.
Super hot.
This is a podcast.
Well, it is if you listen to it as a podcast, but
And hi to all the podcast listeners out there in
Hello.
La La Land.
are you talking to the podcast?
This one's just for the
This one's just for you. This one's not for anyone watching. Don't look at my mouth.
It's the same
This is
sound.
for the podcasts. Yeah, well, they won't know it. The people watching can't see my mouth,
There's,
but the people listening can feel it.
there's an overworld in this game, right? So the playing through.
What does that mean? Oh, Kate's saying some good stuff. I can't wait to listen to the
Continue,
podcast.
Evan,
Oh,
please.
sorry.
Hey, whatever Kate said.
I genuinely can't hear what you're saying, so we'll find out later.
Well, that's not for you. It's for the podcast
I can hear
listeners.
what Matt's saying.
Oh, I'm saying it too loud. I haven't figured out the game.
His stage.
This one's for the podcast listeners only. I hope you're doing great.
There's.
Fuck all of the arseholes who are watching us. But all the people listening, I love you.
The people watching can still hear.
Yeah, fuck them.
All right, there's an overworld in this game.
Evan is a meatball. sorry, pardon, sorry, what?
I was just going to say, I think the reason why Matt might know about Superhot is because we did it, I think it was the first episode of the show.
Yeah, I was on that episode.
Oh, were you on the Super Hot episode?
Yeah, if I know about a game,
long
it's because I was
time
on
ago.
a
We
gaming
should
game.
absolutely do flashback to that.
All right, we'll do a flashback to Matt talking about Super Hot right now.
I
It
was
does-
playing from the very beginning, and I suck.
The only thing I remember from that
And
episode.
now we'll do a flashback of Evan accepting an award at the Nickelodeon Kids Awards.
The lights, camera, Fox, Kids, Take Two, Lego Grand Prize goes to Evan Munro Smith! Come on!
Oh, we'd like to thank all our family and all our friends again, and Fox Kids again.
Can we do a flashback to Kate being the DJ character? Is there
No,
any video
that's-
footage of that?
There's none of that.
DJ
and-
character.
Yeah. So if you saw my
All right,
flashbacks-
I'll do the flashback.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
Well-
I'm what's the DJ's name?
I'm not going to tell you. This is your flashback of me. So this is how
Hey, I'm DJ. Hello, Melbourne.
it's pretty accurate.
It was so good. I love that show a lot.
Should we?
Good.
We should do a flashback to me winning an antenna award.
Oh, ego.
The antenna goes to Evan Munro Smith for Australia. Get it up, yeah. Yes, indeed.
I didn't realize this was going to be a clip show. That's great.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
just phone this in.
Remember that time?
Remember when you... This?
Don't point the camera at me. I gotta blow my nose.
Remember when Martin left the screen?
He's blowing his nose.
Hey, can you put someone in there? Put
Put
young
him in.
Evan there. Can you put young Evan in?
Young
at the desk?
Evan accepting an award.
Yeah, put young Evan in it, sitting on the desk there.
Again.
That'd be great.
Again.
Hey, young Evan. Hey, stick at it. You're gonna do great. You're gonna do okay. You're gonna be here.
Are you touching young Evan there?
Stop touching young Evan, Mark.
Patting his butt. Back pat.
Oh, is that?
He's very short
Dodgy.
because he's so young.
There's an overworld, right?
What a thing to capture on TV.
Oh,
What
this
is an
isn't
overworld?
So an overworld is like,
It's like the menu world.
it's like a menu. It's where you can access all the levels, but it in itself is a kind of a level that you move around in.
Does that make the other thing the underworld or the middle
Technically,
earth
yeah, I'd say dungeons.
dungeons?
It's like
Yeah.
You go into golf dungeons.
Or level, yeah, I suppose so. I suppose they're golf
right.
dungeons.
Is there a part of it where they do a pun on golf, also kind of sounding like the Gulf War, and you have to go into the Gulf War?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Would.
Not that I've seen so far. You liked this game, Kate?
Yeah, I think it was great. I like it because it's a good game and it's fun to look at. And I like it because it's simple, like me. And also, I like it because it's just a nice time and it's fun and great for the sake of being fun and great. And I love that. It's like that kind of thing when you see like 60-minute reports on computers and it's in the 80s and they're like, this is a computer. And then they talk about things that we're going to do with them in the future and stuff, and then you think about like how great it could be for art and stuff, and then it always just gets overrun by people who are like, this is the correct way to do it. Like this is just like a great example of just having a great time with it.
Yeah.
And there's not enough of just, there probably is heaps and I just don't know about it.
Well, it's a lot like the Goose Game in that way.
Yeah, just like...
If someone's tried something different and they've sort of just thrown a lot of ideas at it.
Would have been a fun game to write.
Is it very... It's quite long, isn't it? Like actually... Like I looked upstairs, you're only 18% of the way through.
Really? Yeah, there's a lot to it. I don't know exactly how many hours you'd get out of it, but there's also quite a lot of replayability as well because some replayability. So because once you finish a course, it sort of gives you those challenges, right? So if you'll be playing a course and then you'll notice there's a toaster somewhere and a cat somewhere, and so you can do it again, and the challenge is to hit the toaster or hit the cat, or that sort of thing as well.
There were daily challenges as well with leaderboards. You can it was. I found it annoying at first because it didn't count the shots. I'm like, what's the par? I'll get a birdie.
There was one that was a par one.
Yeah, there was.
But it stops you from playing as soon as you... Yeah.
There's it also does count your total shots, which is now in the thousands on mine.
Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, that horse level.
That horse level. I'm going
bing, 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 bing. You went through so many
horses. Because you can just keep shooting it. You just go bing, 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 bing.
Right. Keep shooting the horse.
Can you shrink me down into the game? I'm a horse. No.
Maybe.
Thank you. That's all I ever wanted. I mean, after I die.
Right.
Not for this episode or anything.
Oh.
After I die, shrink me down. I want to live out on forever as a dead horse in that game. Which is rhyming slang for tomato sauce.
What is?
Dead horse.
Ah.
I rest my case.
It's just come out on PC, but it's also out on
Switch.
It's coming out on Switch this year sometime, but they haven't committed to a date, as far as I know. But it is out on Apple iPhone.
Yeah, I played it on Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
I was just going to straight up buy this because I'd heard such great things about it. But you can't... I'm now in a free trial of Apple Arcade, which I know I'm just never going to get around to because I don't have time for it at the moment.
Are you're sort of quite a busy person?
No, well, everyone's busy. Right. But it's just that I'm trying to have more physical hobbies if I do stuff.
What are you going for, golf?
No. No, but I'd love for you to...
Let's go
play golf.
Let's go play 9.
Yeah. Can you be bothered? I will.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of
Yeah, it's fun. I
hidden.
love playing golf, I realised. And I sucked at it yesterday. Yeah. It was awful. I had 101 shots.
Okay, great. I need to play with someone who sucks.
You're
that guy who sucks.
You've met your match.
Are we still going to go shooting sometime?
What? When did we talk about that?
What kind of shooting?
This morning.
I feel like we were going to go shooning at some point, like to a target range.
You walked into Evan's house.
He handed it to
Evan was sitting on the couch.
I genuinely have no memory of this.
Maybe someone else said that. I don't know. I can't remember.
Someone
we're going
like?
Do you have any interest in guns?
I'll go, I would go to a range and shoot a gun, yes. But it's
Let's
not like...
do it. It's a date.
But it's not like I'm like, let's go shoot some guns, man. Like,
I'm not either, but...
That's literally what you would just like.
All right, let's go shoot some guns.
I thought we had plans.
Shooting the crystal pistol is a slang term for smoking methamphetamines.
Let's go.
Oh, is that what you thought he meant?
Crystal pistol before we get our hands on those guns or after we get our hands on those guns?
If you're crystal pistol...
After the crystal pistol, you'll want a gun.
Crystal pistol, then guns. In the morning, you'll wake up having fun. Guns and crystal pistol, wake up in the morning and you'll have dread by the fistfuls.
Yes. That famous fun saying.
I'm going to get that tattooed on my knuckle. So it catches me out.
Let's go.
So,
what other sayings do you know, Matt?
I'll give me a topic and I'll give you a saying.
Pens.
How does your mind work? You know, the imagination. Like, how did you get there? I just can't figure out how you leap from one topic to another like
I'm
that.
a real original.
You're never too far from friends when you got pens. And that's true in this case.
Yeah. It's because everyone needs a pen. Everyone's like, has anyone got a pen?
Yeah, that's where the concept of pen pals began. A lot of people don't know that.
You don't send the pen in the mail, you send a letter in the mail.
Yeah, but in a way, you've sent a piece of the pen, the ink.
Ah.
If you think about it. And I think you should. You need to
Bring it
think
out.
quite a bit.
What are you making
Martin's
there?
crafting over
Trying to
there.
make a hat.
A hat.
Ah, I thought you were making a hole so we could play golf.
I've
Maybe we
heard
could
that-
throw you into the hole.
I mean, kind of I am. Like, if you toss something into that.
There you go.
Hey!
Now you're pen pals.
Dunk. This is it's an Epic Game Store exclusive on PC, which think of that what you will.
I don't know what you're
I'm
talking about.
enraged. I'm
Oh,
so furious.
I'm furious.
Oh, you've got to. I don't know. I drank the whole thing. So
I don't mind it.
if I'm still alive by the end of this.
I think the Epic Store should be better, but it doesn't fill me with as much rage as it does for some people. It's $20 US, which I don't know works out to be like $25 maybe. It's
Really, that's great value, I would have thought, for this.
yeah, I think it's good value. I think it's a good game. I think it's fun. I'm happy to support the developers.
Kay didn't like you were saying the
Oh,
mouse.
yeah.
You thought that was a bit clumsy.
Well, yeah, watching you play it made me think that. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that was just me.
It was a lot. It was a lot of this.
Yeah. I'm
But-
all arms and legs when I play
Which is
video
a lot.
games.
Like I'm on the plane. I'm just doing this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're getting in there, man. You're like a '90s hacker in a movie.
yeah.
You're in.
Yeah. I'm hacking into the mainframe.
You lost your hat. Oh.
Martin, your one true beauty gone.
Let's.
What inspired the hat?
Youth is gone. I
You lost
wanted a
interest in the
crown.
show at some
We were
point.
saying we need an alpha. Like none
Oh.
of us are alpha enough, and I figured that if I had a crown,
You could be.
then
an
I
alpha.
would be
I don't
king.
think
That
you
was
quite
saying-
understand the alpha game because I think that's more duncy, that hat, than crown. You've set yourself.
Well, the point is, I've got a job.
Well, now we're getting personal, aren't we?
The Surge 2 is a third-person action RPG with strong focus on melee combat. It's reminiscent of games from Software like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and
Blood burn, my blood burns, and my blood's bone.
Ev, if your blood burns, you better see a doctor.
There's only 5 of these games. You can literally name all of them. So there's Dark Souls, there's Bloodborne, there's Sekiro, there's Neo, and there's The Surge. There's also kind of Lords of the Fallen, but they only really made one of them because it was shit.
okay. Well, so The Surge 2 is like a. It's
I know
like
things about games.
it's like those, but with a.
Okay.
It's sort of set in a futuristic sci-fi sort of a setting. So
It's German and industrial, like Kraftwerk.
Yeah, I reckon you could almost imagine 9 Inch Nails playing in the background.
Let's take a look at the trailer.
Only minutes ago, an unidentified rocket took off at the Creo launch site just outside Jericho City.
Jericho City is under attack. The nanites have entered a new stage of evolution.
So that was a look at the trailer for The Surge 2. So this is a sequel to The Surge 1.
You love
I-
the Surge 1.
A Surge named after the rough blue material used for making sailors' pants.
Really?
That is what that is.
Okay. It's I played a little bit of the first one, but not heaps.
Evan was baffled by that fact.
I haven't really gotten into the From Software games, things like Dark Souls and Bloodborne and that sort of thing, or Sekiro. I usually just give up because they're too hard. But what appealed to, it seems so superficial, but this appeals to me more because it is sort of sci-fi-y, and I like the aesthetic more than...
And you can say it, Western.
Western?
It's
Oh,
the only,
not
unlike
Japanese,
those
you mean.
games, because From Software, they're all Japanese games.
It's not so much of the Japanese games, but they're sort of like fantasy sort of, I'm more of a Star Trek than a Game of Thrones.
It is interesting how little plot there basically is in this, because I played it, and you're amnesiac, you wake up in a hospital, which is 90% of all game plots.
Yes.
And then you go out, and you kill things and wander around.
Yeah.
And there's not...
Sorry, I like
Yeah, you act it out.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, there's like the ghost of a little girl that you're kind of chasing.
Yeah.
But there's not a good reason for you to do that, and no reason why you wouldn't just be like, oh, where's the nearest place that's not full of murdery things? Can I just walk out there? So it's sort of, but the world's quite cool. It's all interconnected in that Dark Souls way. You wander around. We were saying before the break, just in case they didn't, it's German and industrial, so it's like Kraftwerk.
Yes.
That's
more like
fundamentally-
Rammstein.
Is Rammstein industrial?
Yeah,
Oh,
certainly.
excusez-moi. They do cartwheels with fireworks attached to
Yeah.
their feet. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a little bit
I think they're
industrial.
industrial.
I didn't know. That's what
I
the thing
think, yeah, I think they probably are.
is. Yeah,
I
but
want to see you stripped.
Yeah. It's a Depeche Mode cover.
I want to see you make decisions without your televisions. I want to see you naked just for me.
You really are filling in for Ben this week, aren't you?
This isn't a song, he's just...
I'm just letting you know how I feel. This game is in this society.
Yes.
On one night of the year, they're allowed to be robots that kill each other. Is that true?
No, well, they're not. No, they're not robots. This is these are people.
Okay.
You fairly early on you get an exosuit. So
It's strictly law. It's all law for 364 days of the year. But one night of the year, they're allowed to go out and surge.
no. You're thinking of Babe Pig in the City.
Okay.
The one night of the year when a pig can be a hero.
I do get those two confused.
The experience of playing a Dark Souls game like this, I can best describe it like, you know when you play a normal video game and you fight like a kind of hard boss and you like, it takes you 3 or 4 goes and you get up to a certain point and you're like, you're jumping out of the way and you're ducking and diving, you're using all the like skills that you've learned up to this point and you're trying really hard and everything and you're throwing the controller around like a character playing a video game in a movie.
Yeah.
And you finally like somehow, you manage to beat the boss. In a Dark Souls game, when you get to that point, you look up and just like a quarter of the health bar is gone. And that's the point at which you step outside of your body and you look at yourself on the couch and you say, Martin, we've never been to Paris. And that's because you need to reevaluate. And you are. The idea of these games, genuinely, the idea is that you're meant to push through that feeling.
Yeah.
That feeling that this is wasting your life until you do beat the boss. You get through to the other side and you get this completely unearned sense of achievement because all you've done is spend too much time playing a video game.
Yes.
That said, it's quite fun.
It is punishingly hard. Like, it is so... for me, anyway, man, this was hard. Like, the first proper boss that I got to, that warden, that took me so many goes. I don't think I've ever, like, tried that many times to defeat a boss in a game.
Do you think it's like a euphemism for capitalism?
Yeah. I mean, in the way that it's...
I'm not sure.
Capitalism.
Are Rammstein socialists?
Oh, no doubt.
Cool.
No doubt.
I thought they were the other side.
They have fireworks coming off their dildo crotches. So I think, yeah, they might be socialists.
I'm happy to be correct.
It's all about persistence and learning.
Capitalism.
No. This game and defeating the bosses.
Defeating the boss. Capitalism.
I felt like they threw so much at you with that first proper boss because it was not only did he have so much more health than anyone else that you'd tackled up until that point.
It was Richard Branson, wasn't it? The
No, it
first
wasn't
one?
Richard
First
Branson.
proper boss?
No.
It was my
It
first
was Warden,
proper
what's
boss.
his name? Anyway, and he had bloody fire things, and he
had a little robot
he had
that
a
chases
drone
you.
that just shoots you. It's like it was hard.
Did it seem unfair?
Yeah, it's
like
a
he had a lot of
miserable, like,
money
drag
privilege?
down.
Maybe it did seem unfair. I was outgunned. Weren't even any guns.
And you love guns.
I love guns, and there aren't any. There's no guns in this game.
You love guns.
Sometimes characters have guns, but there
was a guy with a gun. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's guys with guns that like shoot at you from a distance, and
Yeah.
every time it happens, you think, why don't I have a gun? I got this fucking stick I'm hitting people with.
Do you actually ever get to use guns in this game?
No, you get your drone shoots at people, but it just does like chip damage.
But like,
Your stick is pretty electric, though, isn't it?
well, it depends. There are different types of weapons. I think there's a different.
Yeah, no,
difference
if
in that regard.
only our brave boys charging out of the trenches in World War I, if one of them had an electric stick,
Yeah. That's all we need.
maybe we'd be all happy under the Kaiser.
You start off with different.
Wait, when you said our boys, you were talking about the Nazis?
What? No, the English boys. I don't know what you mean.
Oh no.
I'm not a German.
Wait, you said Kaiser, though.
Early
That's the other-
20th century.
Do you reckon
German
when they
imperialists.
invented the cattle prod, they were like, how can we militarize this?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
Any technology.
I think anyone that invents anything is straight away.
Yeah, the army's on the blower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know that cattle prod you got?
You play this goose game, how can we militarize it?
Do you reckon the guy who invented the cattle prod, how long do you think between him inventing it and him first testing it on himself? What kind of a gap that was?
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
first you try an animal, you'd like poke it at a cow because that's in the name, and like the cow falls over. And then you'd
strong.
look at that end and you'd be like,
After it knocks a cow out?
Shit, I don't think.
It prods them, it doesn't knock
I
them
reckon
out.
there are two types of people, Martin. I'm one of them. You're the other one who puts a cattle prod on yourself.
In high school, I had a pen that you clicked the thing and it electrocuted you. It was like a gag pen. And I didn't do it myself because I didn't like it.
Wait, so did you put it on and were you like, ow, 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 ow,
It
ow,
was a
ow?
pen. It was a pen.
Oh, a
not
pen.
So every time you had to click it
Yeah.
to get the pen.
Yeah,
nib out.
it wasn't a working pen.
Well, it sounds like.
I
it was
remember
just
those, yeah, a buzzer
shitty
pen.
weapon.
It was a
that would,
novelty.
like, it
You give it to a friend and they're like, thank you.
Yes, my lord.
It's great.
That is.
I'm wearing it in honor of the.
You know, the kind of kid who would have a thing like that is the kind of kid who's a big fan of Weird Al Yankovic,
That's me.
who would catch a bus to Canberra to see him, despite his parents thinking he just went out to the shed.
We cross live now to Evan just going, just when he makes that little noise. Do you think it's the cutest thing that you've ever seen?
What, me
I
doing
do.
that?
Yeah. Just being so
No.
excited and getting an award and making a really good little speech for a little man.
Thank you.
You've still got that great kiddie quality, even though you're like clearly a mature guy who's like quite
away
a
from his
serious
Stop
fella.
telling me not to touch Small Evan's ass. He's a grown man now.
Small Evan, do you think if Small Evan would realise that one day he'd be sitting here at the desk, host of the gaming game show?
You'd have to explain like 8 things to Small Evan.
What, YouTube?
You'd
is?
have to explain YouTube.
8 things.
Cameras.
Time travel for how you got back there to talk to him about it.
It's all...
2.
It's all about the combat in this game, right?
I thought it was about the friendships.
No,
No, though there are a lot of people in it. It's not like Dark Souls is set in like big, empty, abandoned places, and this has like kind of little villages and stuff that you visit, and the people are not like hollowed out remnants of humanity.
Yeah, quite
They're, like,
large
pretty fun,
portions go towards you doing charity work in the villages, building schools.
That would be good.
And educational facilities, also known as schools. So I don't know why you separate those two into different tasks, but it's a complex game.
It is
And
complex.
that's how Room Gaming does it. What was it? It was a weird normal word. Who are these people who make this game?
Deck 13.
They're called
look
Dex.
They're German.
Paranoid.
Deck 13.
Yeah.
Um,
Unlucky number for some. Not for Deck.
The combat is brutal. You have to be careful not to get hit.
But it feels quite good when you do connect. You really fuck people up. Like when you, because you target individual body parts.
Yeah.
And at a certain point during the fight, like while you're still slashing at someone, a button prompt will come up on screen, and so like while you keep like hammering away with the trigger to like cut more bits of them off, you press the button and then grab a hold of their arm, and then there's like a little movie and you slice it off.
Yeah.
And then you get to keep that arm for research.
Yeah.
Which is, that's a really cool...
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, hey everyone, I guess. This is a fun gag till I get back to the laboratory.
Don't worry, I'm a scientist.
Yeah, if you cut off an armored body part, then I think you get schematics so that you can upgrade things.
The thing I don't that annoys me about it is you see in all these videos, it's a really beautiful looking game, but I played it on the PlayStation and it's got like weird graphical things.
Yeah, I
like
played
people
it on Xbox and I had the same sort of thing. It's like mushy textures and stuff, weird, like it's not quite finished yet.
I think it's just that we're getting towards the end of this era in gaming, and especially as far as consoles go, they're really pushing against the edges. And so my character in this game is covered in weird purple lumps like he has a disease. And I can't, they like eventually like after you play it for a couple of minutes, like it renders into armor. But at that point I already think he's too sick to say.
Yeah, it is. It for some reason, textures take a while to load. There's sort of weird stuff like that. Maybe the draw distance isn't as far as it should be on
there's
console.
fog like a fucking 64 game.
It's really weird. And I don't know if it's like that on PC. I assume it looks better on PC. I played the first one on PC, and I think that looked better than what this looks like on Xbox.
It did. It was a more cohesive design. Though I do like, I love the industrial look of it. Like it's kind of like instead of looking at military shit, in order to figure out the look of everything, they actually looked at like construction sites and mining equipment and things. So it's a beautiful look. So it annoys me that because of a weird graphical glitch, it doesn't look most of the time when you're playing it, there's something off.
Yeah.
It looks like Nine Inch Nails should be playing in the background. Starfuckers!
Yeah?
Starfuckers Incorporated!
This is because they're my other favourite band.
Yeah, they're...
Weird Al and Nine Inch Nails.
Weird Al and Nine Inch Nails, the big two.
And of course
that's
Rammstein.
Is Rammstein rounding out the three?
I don't mind Rammstein.
I want to see you stripped.
Do you know any of their original songs?
Du hast mich.
Yeah.
Du hast mich der Flagge. Du hast mich der Flagge. Du hast mich der Flagge. Shinne me. Dan.
For a full-blown vegan, you would be terrifying to face having just jumped off a longboat.
A full-on vegan.
Like,
is that like from the suburban? Wherever you're from, I'm a full-on vegan.
Well, because
I'm not a vegan.
Didn't you used to be?
You're a vegetarian.
Hey, I don't want to. I didn't bring it up, but now that you mention it. Yeah, I do.
You would be terrifying to face as a Viking, I think. I would be genuinely...
Imagine if I had meat protein on my bones.
Strapped there with duct tape, rubber bands.
I went to a Viking museum recently, and they just love putting stuff in bogs.
In bogs?
Yeah.
It's a bog.
A bog? What?
You know mud?
Yes.
Yeah, like a heap of it.
Like a lot of mud.
Like a heap of mud.
You know if your car gets bogged?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Imagine
a Viking.
That. They would just build stuff to chuck it in the bog. And they're like, yeah, we're going to do a little sacrificial ceremony. But it was really just to be like, do you reckon this is going to sink in the bog? Like, they found these bogs and there was so much shit in them. Like, they just loved it.
That's so weird.
So much
I
stuff.
reckon I've got mates who must have some Viking blood because they like going four-wheel driving. And their weekends, they put the videos up on YouTube or on Facebook after, and it's just them driving about 20 metres, getting bogged, then winching themselves out via a tree to the next bog, then getting bogged again, and winching themselves out. And they're like, well, they could not be happier.
Yeah.
They found cheese in there, didn't they? And they ate some.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
There you go.
they found bog cheese.
Sounds that good.
But it preserved.
Yeah.
The bog was actually a really good place to put a whole lot of crap because it just preserved it.
It'll fuck up a human body. I've got some pictures I should show you. They're great, but not good to watch after you just had a burrito.
Okay. Or a bog
But
burrito.
cheese is fine. They'd like wrap it in cloth, and they pulled some out. And butter? They found butter in there?
Yeah, butter.
Kinds of stuff.
Butter is, I mean,
Butter's everywhere.
yeah.
Has been
Cheese
for a while.
is mould, so it makes sense that it would last a while, I guess.
I would peg absolutely everything
cheese
to that
mold?
bog. If I knew that was what we were going to do.
Well,
it'd
it's
be
funny
like,
that this started off you making fun of Vikings for chucking stuff
No,
in bogs, and
it's
it's ended
fun.
with you wanting to chuck stuff
Yeah,
in bogs.
there was
Should
no
we go there
judgment
now?
to begin with.
Oh, could you cut to Kate throwing something in a bog?
There is no footage of this
Yeah,
that
put-
I'm aware of.
Yeah, get something like a piece of cheese in Kate's hand, and then put a bog here.
I don't even know what a bog is. Is it just like a hole?
It's a chunk of mud.
It's like quicksand, but just dirty mud.
Okay.
I wore a pair of pants yesterday.
You wore a pair of pants yesterday.
I just remembered this. I wore a pair of pants yesterday.
Yeah?
I did too.
I can't get to the story. I can't get to
I don't understand any of this murder confession. I don't think it's legally admissible.
I wore a pair of pants yesterday
We got that, yep.
that I thought was a different pair of pants all day until I got home and I went to the laundry basket and I saw the pair of pants
Oh my
that I thought I had been wearing all day sitting in front of me.
What a reveal.
I was like, what?
If you're there, how could you be here?
Exactly. And then I looked at my legs and
You were hidden
I said out loud, "You're not that pair of pants." And then they are quite different pants. I don't know what happened to my brain yesterday.
Did you have the light on when you were getting dressed?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I put on weight. These pants don't fit the same. Then I was like, that's okay. Sometimes you put on weight, sometimes you lose. It's okay. They're two different colours.
Oh, okay, that's
One's black and one's like a pretty like navy, but not that navy blue.
That means you didn't look at your legs all day.
I spent the whole day
Is this
thinking
normal?
about pants that I was not wearing.
I don't think I've ever thought about my pants before.
Think about them.
You're aware of them, right? You're aware of them.
I am now that we're talking about them so much. I reckon
You know what pants you're wearing, right? Well, you looked, but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, now imagine going
They weren't
home.
surprising to
Imagine
me.
going home and then you discover that the pants that
That
you
would
think you
freak
looked
me
at
out.
was yes!
That would freak me
Yes.
out. You put it into words I could understand. If I got home and saw the pants I thought I was wearing,
Yeah.
now I get it. That would be weird. I'm picturing like green pants.
No. Well, I mean, you might.
I needed to
your
go
pant
that
land,
far.
Your pant land, that can
Sort
be.
of navy. This is for later. Sort of navy. Honestly, could do with a wash. I stretch them out to like a 2-week
You're wearing-
period. Like you usually for work, at the most you go a 1 week, but I'm not trying that hard.
All right.
So yeah, no, this is just for later on, 2 weeks.
That is a bold look.
Picture-
Navy and black. That's breaking a lot of fashion
I
rules.
just want to hide.
It's important not to run out of stamina when you're in combat in the surge, right? Like, because
We just talked about pants for ages.
I know you.
Hey, on topic, because that's what pants are made from.
Stamina.
Surge.
Surge. Sorry, gotcha.
Surge.
Okay. The
Rough
so if you
surge against
because
young buttocks.
if you just go in and you're just trying to attack heaps, you'll run out of stamina, you won't be able to attack anymore, you won't be able to block, and you won't be able to dodge out of the way to evade attacks, right?
One of the things they said they made better about this is that there's a lot more, the blocking mechanic is more important, and you have to spend a lot more time blocking. And I'd like to say on the record about all video games, I would be happy if I never had to block in a video game. In the same way, I never want to not be pressing the accelerator in a racing game.
I don't mind that so much. But yeah, blocking, I really had to get my head around blocking, because it's similar to like, what was I playing? For Honor, I was playing a little while ago, where it's directional blocking, right? So it gives you a little arrow saying, the attack's coming from the top or side or whatever. And you have to hit the block button and your analog stick, this is on Xbox, over to that match that direction. And you also have to do that at the correct time if you want to parry and deflect. It's hard, especially when there's several attacks coming at you at once, right? They'll do it.
Yeah. In the first one, you could dodge out of the way most of the time.
Right.
You hardly ever have to do it. And it seems with this one, they're like, no, you have to, because a lot of the time you're not going to have enough stamina to jump back.
So it's like proper, this is like parrying, that's like a fencing thing, right? So this is all...
It's kind of like that. It's
all melee combat. There's no guns. You're not going to, for your character, you have to like sword fight everybody.
It is a good game. It's the graphically and stuff. It's rough around the edges. I think I've heard a bit about like bugs or quirks on PC, but I haven't really had any trouble in that regard on Xbox. For me, it's just like I don't know how far I can put up with the difficulty, knowing that the difficulty is just going to ramp up. I've only just got to the point where I'm starting to face multiple enemies at once. And I don't know, I just don't know how I can manage that.
It's a question of like, is this making a good use of my time? And the golf game, What the Golf, makes great use of your time.
Sure.
You're constantly delighted. It's like you work all day at your job, you slave away at this monster that you hate, and then you go home and you're delighted consistently for hours. With this, you go home and then you fight another thing. And at the end of it, are offered no reward other than the lyrics of Rammstein.
Yeah, fighting enough bosses during the day. Rather than going home and fighting another boss.
Yes.
I like the idea of you like going home, putting the Matrix soundtrack on the CD player.
The ditches and burn, the witches and down in the back of my trailer.
Good soundtrack.
That's all for this week. But before we go, we have a Patreon question. We actually got a lot of Patreon questions this week, which I think was just a result of Naomi cancelling everybody that was on the Patreon last week. Because all the questions that were coming in were about boys in the wall or dead dogs. And that actually prompted a bunch of quite good, serious questions to come in. But the one that was top voted this week, it's not a bad, no, it is. Anyway, look, it's from Lachlan Chapman. He asked,
name his full name. It's a bad question.
It's not so much his fault. I mean, he submitted the question, but everyone else voted it up. Who is your favourite and least favourite panellist, and why? Let there be blood! !
Does it have to be a panelist from today?
I wish this question was to like the regular panelists instead of us three ring-ins on a Friday night. My favourite panelist is Abraham Lincoln.
I like that Graham Norton guy.
I thought Glenn Robbins was great. At the end, he always had a great zinger at the right time.
My least favourite.
You guys all know who the regular lineup of this show is. There's a...
So it's Naomi.
Oh, I mean, like in
Evan Munro Smith.
Yes.
Ben.
Yes.
And who's the other one?
Well, a guest, but I mean, there's you're all part of the group. There's a group of panelists that we have pretty regularly. So out of that pool of people, Dave Callan, Jess Perkins.
I'm happy. I don't want to answer either of these questions.
No. Which of your friends would you save from falling out of a plane?
I don't want to pick a favourite friend or a least favourite friend, Evan. This question.
My favourite's Naomi because of how angry this show makes her.
Okay, well that.
My least favourite is Matt.
Okay, that's fair.
Because of some business off screen.
Well, let's not go into that now. All right, my least favourite's Martin. That got a whole lot easier real quick. And my favourite is Ben Russell, one of the funniest comedians in Australia.
He's very good, isn't he? He's very funny.
My least favourite is Martin and Matt for tearing apart this beautiful family and making a choice that they never should have made.
It was Sophie's choice. Is that a reference that makes sense?
I mean, yeah, if she hated both of her kids.
Yeah. I assume she did.
Did you have a favourite, Kate? You don't have to. This is a weird question.
No
You
one
have to
said
answer
Evan
that.
yet.
I like it.
I'm not a panelist, I'm the host.
He's not my favourite.
Okay. Ask this question again next week.
Tarzo. I really like that
Tarzo's
dog.
great.
Yeah.
And Bec. I'd also like to say Bec Petraitis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's great too. Hey, Bec.
Oh.
Pretty good.
Hey there, Bec. Jeez, Louise. What are you doing over there?
There's Louise over there too.
Special mention to Louise.
There's no one named Louise on this show.
Stupid name. Stupid name. No one in the world's named Louise.
For a
It's the
stupid
dumbest thing I've
name?
ever heard. Louise.
I don't know anyone named Louise, except my sister's middle name.
I think when asking Evan who his favourite and least favourite is, I mean, it's clear because he books the guests. So
Yeah, everyone that is on the show.
Naomi and Ben are your favourites.
Yeah.
And who's someone you haven't had on for a long time? I mean,
Xavier Michaelides.
Yeah.
I try to get Xavier on. He's often working on the days that we record, or he's away. He's great though. Dave Warnocky hasn't been on for quite a while.
Yeah, good choice for worst.
If you have a question you would like to answer on the show, sorry, no, that's not the right words. If you have a question you would like us to answer on the show, you just jump onto the $10 Patreon tier, and then you can submit questions and you can vote for questions too. We have to thank our top patrons. Big thanks to, okay, so there are new patrons this month, right? Because it's a new month and so new patrons, right? This guy, Peter, I messaged him and said, how do you pronounce your last name? I don't want to mess up your last name. I'll make a fool of myself. He replied and said, I'm not going to tell you.
Oh,
he thinks
great.
that he'd wanted just me to...
Let's each have a go.
Let's each have a go. All right, I'm going to say...
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah, I'm confident. Quietly confident it's
That's how I read it.
I'm going to say Peter Weighs Chazko.
I reckon you've smashed
That's
that.
probably it.
Reckon?
Yeah, I reckon.
You reckon that's a...
Yeah.
You reckon
That's
that
a
J
soft
is like a
J.
Y?
Peter
Soft J?
Varschesko.
Peter Weiss Chesko.
Peter Wages Checky go.
I don't
How
think
would
it's right.
Ramstein say it, Matt?
Peter Weiss Chesko. I think I'm doing James Hetfield accidentally.
Our other top patrons, Lachlan Chapman, Amy G, Josh Apter, Zach Shepherd, Nathan Bauer, Samuel Emons, Chandler the Baker Man, Alan Mulhall, Rowasaw, Eric Stacey, Soph Waldron, Alex Chom.
Soph, not soft.
Soph? Sorry.
Did you say soft?
Soft.
I might have.
Yeah, I know. I know.
She had to
soft.
kill
That's
one of her names.
It was
One of
Sophie's
the letters
choice.
at the end of her name.
The I and the E had to go.
She wouldn't
A
tell me how
choice had to
pronounce
be
it.
made.
Alex Chomp, Jake Sullivan, Drew Schuller, Jack Mufati, Drew Peisner, Jim Hughes, Kylie Jones, Zach Steinbacher, Scott Chapman, Shemeth Widratney, Christian Ford, Paul Barbie, Ben Lovett, Christian Sanchez, and there's only one Christian Sanchez now. One of the Sanchez is gone.
There used to be two Christian Sanchez's?
Yes.
Whoa.
What? I thought it was a mistake.
What did you do to Christian Sanchez?
I don't even know which one's gone.
I reckon it was probably the dirty Sanchez. Is that? I can't remember what that means.
That's a sex thing.
That's probably why he's
Put
gone.
it on
That's
now.
probably why he's gone, you idiot. Making fun
Sorry.
of his name.
Anyway,
Clean one remained.
Adam Giambattista and Chris Sheeky are our top patrons. Thank you so much.
I know his work. I know what you did, cheeky sheeky.
Thank you so much for supporting the show. And if you want your name read out on the show as well, you can jump on the $20 Patreon tier at patreon.com/GameyGame or GameyGame.com/Patreon, and you also get a mug with that as well. And maybe Naomi will be back next week, and maybe she'll uncancel everybody because I'll tell her how good you were this week at not sending questions.
I have the power to do that.
To uncancel people.
You're uncancelled.
Is that how that works?
I was an altar boy, so I'm allowed to do that.
Okay. If you enjoy the show, subscribe.
I might have just got cancelled, actually.
Probably. If you enjoy the show, subscribe to the channel and share it around and whatever else. And remember, you can podcast the show as well. Just look it up on your podcast app of choice. And you can also check out Primates, which I'm on with Matt every week. What's this one's about?
This were the one just gone. We talked about, we did a David Attenborough episode about dynasties with Ben Russell and Bree Williams, and it was very funny. A lot of people saying it's one of the best we've done.
Really?
And then this week's episode, a bit of sizzle, we're doing it about Beasts from Marvel.
Oh, with Peter Thomas?
Yeah, and another
lovely
guest who I should message soon. Hey, Kate, you want to be on promo?
Hell no. No.
Do you have anything to plug, Kate?
Nah.
Okay.
You can listen to my old podcast, Loner. Sometime
Really
it'll be
good.
a second season.
It is really good.
Thanks.
It's called Loner. It's by Kate Dehnert, and it'll also be on your podcast app, probably, if you look for it. Martin, do you have anything to plug?
Buy tickets to a comedy festival show in about a year's time called The Last Ghost Is You.
A year's time? 6
Whatever.
months, surely.
March, May.
2020 Comedy
time.
Festival, Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's about ghosts and it's going to be all fancy.
Put that in your calendar for March.
And smoke it.
And
Very
smoke it.
peculiar.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you next week.
What are you doing? I just want to go home.